and welcome back to Cafe Class Network. I'm Eliza Johnson.
And I'm Nico Benessa. Today we're talking about infant bed sharing, whether it's safe, why parents do it, and what research says about the risks and benefits.
Our first article is called Trends and Factors Associated with Infant Bed Sharing, written by Coulson, Willinger, Rybin, Heron, Smith, Lister, and Corwin, and published by JAMA Pediatrics. The study looks at how common bed sharing has been over the time in the United States and what factors influence whether parents choose to do it. Before we go further, let's define a few important terms.
First, bed sharing means an infant sleeps on the same surface, usually a bed, as a parent. Another important term, SIDS, or Sudden Infant Death Syndrome. SIDS is the sudden unexplained death of a baby under 1 year old, usually during sleep.
In their introduction, Coulson and her colleagues explained that even though doctors have warned against bed sharing because of its association with SIDS, many parents still do it. So the researchers wanted to see how bed sharing trends change over time and what social and behavioral factors were connected to it.
They used data from something called the National Infant Sleep Position Study, which collected survey information from thousands of parents between 1993 and 2010. This was an observational study, which means researchers collected information but did not assign families to certain sleep behaviors.
The results showed that bed sharing actually increased over time. Even after public health campaigns promoted safe sleep practices, more parents reported sharing a bed with their infants. They also found that certain groups were more likely to bed share, including younger mothers and families with lower income levels.
In their discussion, Coulson and her team suggest that simply telling parents to not bed share may be the best effective result. Cultural beliefs, convenience, and breastfeeding all play a role as well. They argue that public health messages need to be better understand why parents choose bed sharing in the first place.
Okay, that's article number 1. Our second article is titled, Is Bed Sharing Beneficial and Safe During Infancy? A systematic review written by Das, Sanker, Argwell, and Paul. Unlike the first study, this one looks specifically at whether bed sharing is beneficial or harmful by reviewing multiple previous studies.
In the introduction, Das and his colleagues explained that bed sharing is often encouraged because it may improve breastfeeding rates. Breastfeeding is important because it provides nutrients and immune protection to infants. However, bed sharing has also been linked to an increased risk of SIDS. Because of this debate, researchers conducted a systematic review. A systematic review means they collected and analyzed results from many existing studies to find the overall patterns.
They searched major medical databases and included observational studies including infants in the neonatal period, which is the first 28 days after birth. They focused on 2 main outcomes: breastfeeding, success, in case of SIDS.
The results showed that bed sharing was associated with higher breastfeeding rates at about 4 to 6 weeks of age. However, they also found that bed sharing was linked to more than double the odds of SIDS compared to infants who did not bed share.
In the discussion, Das and his team explained that while breastfeeding benefits are clear, the safety concerns cannot be ignored. They also mentioned that most of the studies they reviewed were observational, meaning researchers did not randomly assign sleep conditions. Because of that, the overall quality of evidence is considered lower than the experimental research. They conclude that more high-quality research is needed to better balance the risk and benefits.
So when we put these 2 studies together, we get a fuller picture. Coulson and her colleagues show that bed sharing has actually increased over time and that many parents continue to choose it despite the public health warnings.
And Das and his team show that while bed sharing may improve breastfeeding, it is also associated with a higher risk of SIDS.
Overall, these studies suggest that the issue is complex. Parents may choose bed sharing for practical or cultural reasons, but safe sleep environments remain extremely important.
I am now joined with some reporters out in the field to interview some people to see what their opinions are on this topic.
Okay, can you walk me through how you decided where your baby would sleep?
Well, he was a crier, so I just let him sleep with me. Yeah.
How do you think about safety when making decisions about your babies?
Well, he still sleeps with me, but I was nervous at first because I was first time mom, so I know about SIDS and stuff like that. He was around like first couple of weeks. I was with my mom, so mom on one side, he was in the middle, I was right there. He was being washed, and then yeah, he did have a bassinet in case like we had to go anywhere else. He was washed all the time.
What guidance did your pediatrician give you about like sleeping?
They just said put the baby in the bassinet. That's something, but I feel like, especially first time parents, they're gonna want to bond with their kid. Sometimes they ask them to sleep with them, but I just make sure if I'm tired, put it down. No problem.
What experience influenced your decision about bed sharing?
Okay, I'm already back here. You don't sleep throughout the night.
How did nighttime routines or feeding schedules affect your sleep setup?
You know, she sleep well.
How do you think about safety when making your decisions about your baby's sleep? Like, did you research anything, or did you just decide that she would sleep with you? You just decided. Did your pediatricians give you any guidance about safe sleep or anything like that? Yes.
But I did buy a bassinet for her.
She just didn't like it. How did family traditions, culture, or personal beliefs influence your choices?
About her sleeping well. They want her to sleep in the bassinet.
They want her to sleep in a bassinet. But you just decided that because it worked better for you. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick Burgos with Cat Free Class Network, and we have a live interview coming in.
Hi, my name is Sophia Loretto, and I'm here with my older brother Chris, and I'm going to be asking him questions about his newborn baby daughter. So the first question I have is, can you walk me through how you decided where your baby would sleep?
Well, after kind of reading on all the pros and cons and what the doctor said on like what's safe sleeping, like actually safe sleeping, and then side by side sleeping, we wanted to try out the bassinet first, so we did initially try out the bassinet on the side of the bed.
Okay. What experience influenced your decision about bed sharing or not bed sharing?
Well, really just make sure the baby was sleeping. So at first with the bassinet it was working, but probably like a week old, she wasn't really sleeping in the bassinet anymore, so she does currently sleep with us. She co-sleeps.
Okay. How did nighttime routines or feeding schedules affect your sleep setup?
Well, I feel like at her age right now, she goes through different phases with food. Like, she'll cluster feed, which means like she's eating every hour back to back, and she'll do that some nights. And some nights she'll eat every 2 or 3 hours or so. So it just really depends on how she's feeling. We try keeping her happy.
Okay. How do you think about safety when making decisions about your baby's sleep?
Obviously, safety is the biggest priority, but if we felt like co-sleeping wasn't safe after trying it, we probably wouldn't do it, but we feel pretty safe when doing it.
Okay. What challenges did you face when balancing convenience and safety?
Well, I feel like it's more convenient in like nature, like animals, they sleep together with their...
What challenges did you face when balancing convenience and safety?
Obviously, safety is the biggest priority, but when you look at just animals in nature, they tend to sleep with their mom, right? You look at bears, you look at lions, any type of animal. But if we feel like it wasn't safe, we wouldn't do it. I guess that's the best words. I had a fear before of like squishing my baby, but like when I actually sleep with her, like I know I would never do that. That's just me though, right? Someone else can feel different, but I feel her at all times, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. How did you respond to different advice you may have received about infant sleep?
Always take everyone's advice into consideration, but one person's advice might be more valuable than the next person's, right?
So about advice, what guidance did your pediatrician give you about safe sleep?
Definitely not co-sleeping. Like, they definitely said to use the bassinet or a crib or whatever, but like, again, I feel safe, so.
Yeah. How did family traditions, culture, or personal beliefs influence your choices?
Well, the mother of my child, she's grown up with babies. Like, she's the oldest of 3 or 4 siblings, all girls, and she kind of like nurtured for them when she was younger. And then also we have a nephew. He's 4 months old, so she just went through all of that with him. So she probably has the most experience out of anyone, and that's kind of who we go off.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for answering these questions.
And that's all for today on Cafe Class Network.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.